Okay, we are live now. Just gonna wait for a few people to join. Hello, everyone. We'll just wait a couple more minutes. We are actually going live after a long time. So today we will be talking about Migration Queensland 190 and 491 visa. So I just want to make sure that people can see us and hear us. If you can see us and hear us, can you please leave a comment? So as we all know that Migration Queensland is open now, and there are a lot of applicants in Queensland trying their luck in Queensland, but only 1,200 seats available, 600 for 190 and 600 for 491. So today we are here to elaborate on their requirements. So I've got my colleague here, Riju Shrestha, a registered migration agent, and I've also got Dorothy Yu, also registered migration agent, and we will be happy to answer your questions. But before that, we would like to explain you the criteria, because that would actually answer a lot of your questions as well. So I can see that some people have joined us. Hi, Norman, Anna, Anvesh. Hello, everyone. Okay, I think we will start now, and the recording will be available anyway after we have finished the live session. So, like I said, 1,200 seats, 600 for 190, 600 for 491. But you would have noticed that because the number of seats are so less, and of course, we know that last year also they got like thousands of EOIs. So there are a lot of people waiting in Queensland. They have changed a lot of their criteria. For example, the employment requirement. For example, now there is a mandatory proficient English requirement, which they did not have last year. So of course, if the seats are less and applicants are more, of course they want to, invite the applicants who are better skilled, highly skilled. So even for trade occupations, for example, they want you to have a proficient English, whereas last year we had that flexibility. If you're a trades worker, competent English was fine. But this year it's not about the EY points, it's a lot more than that. So they're going to look at your salary as well. They have also started the registration of interest process. Until now, Queensland was all about, lodging the brand new EOI whenever they reopen. But this time it's, of course, the brand new EOI, but also the ROI. Many of you have got multiple occupations, for example, multiple skills assessments, but unfortunately you have to pick and choose only one, probably the one which has got little less competition than your other skills assessments, and only one occupation. So, and only one visa subclass. So until last year we had multiple EOIs, different occupations, 190, 491. And probably that was one of the reasons they got so many EOIs, because one applicant was lodging it multiple times. They had, let's say, 3 assessments. So that's 3 EOIs there. And then 3 for 190, 3 for 491. So that's 6 there. And then multiplied by 3, if they had 3 occupations, that's a lot of EOIs for the same applicant. But hopefully this year, because of the ROI process, of course, the number of EOIs will be less, but still a lot of competition we are talking about here, because only 1,200 seats. So we will probably start talking about their criteria now. So I will ask Riju maybe to explain us about the skilled workers in Queensland stream, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Rizu Shrestha, and my MARA number is 1792749, and I'm one of the migration agent here in Nationwide. So let's talk about the requirements for skilled workers in Queensland. So we can lodge 190 or 491. The points requirements previously it used to be a bit higher, but now it's a minimum of 65 points. It includes the state points. So as long as you have 65 points, you'll be eligible to lodge your UIs, and of course ROI you have to lodge it as earlier told by Suman. Any occupation you can choose. It's specified in the Lean 19/051. So your occupations either in the MLT SSL list or the short-term list or the RL list. However, yeah, you need to have the skill assessment done. Um, so English, as mentioned earlier, you both for both 190 and 491, you will need to have proficient English. So that is the minimum requirement now for the skilled pathway and also for the graduate pathway. For the work experience requirement, what Queensland has mentioned is you need to be working for at least 6 months in the last for at least last 6 months to qualify for lodging an EOI for 190, and for 491 it needs to be a minimum of 3 months. So as long as you are working for a minimum period of 3 months and 6 months, then you qualify for it. And the minimum working hours is 30 hours. For 491, you need to be living and working in regional area, whereas for 190, you can be living and working in any part of Queensland. All right. So once you have that, there's further evidence required of ongoing employment. So in case of 190, you need to have a employment contract that mentions your employment is available for further 12 months, and for 491 it needs to be available for 6 months. All right. For 190, you should be committing to Queensland for 2 years, whereas for 491, you need to commit for 3 years in the regional Queensland. All right. So these are few requirements for the skilled workers pathway. Now let's talk about graduate pathway. So graduate pathway, if you look into it, it's got similar criteria, but there is more flexibility, of course. So you have to be graduate of Queensland. You must have graduated in last 2 years. So anyone who has graduated after 1st of July 2022, it has to be a bachelor's degree qualification, and it needs to be graduated in certain degree only. So what they look into are the graduates of agriculture and environment, engineering, education, health, IT, and natural and physical sciences. So if you are a graduate and you have graduated in like after 1st of July 2022 in all of these degree, then you can qualify for the graduate pathway if you can find an employment in skill level 1. So what does skill level 1 means is you need to be working in an occupation or a position where at least a bachelor's degree qualification is required. So that is the requirement, and you must be working in for last 6 months for the 190 and for last 3 months for 491. And of course, you need to be living and working in regional area for 491, whereas it's not required for 190. The other requirement is you need to be working for at least 30 hours per week, and you need to have the full-time employment contract with mentioning 12 months for 190 and for the 6 months for 491. So most of the criteria are same, but the most flexibility that you have got is if you can be working in any skill level, any occupation which are in skill level 1 if you are a graduate. Yep, that's all for me. Now, Dorothy will talk about small business ownership pathway.
Thank you, Rachel. Hi, everyone. My name is Dorothy Yue, and my MARA number is 0430004. I'm also one of my migration agent for a nationwide. Today, I'm going to talk about Queensland 491 small business owner. They in this year, financial year, they do have a lot of changes, and so I would like to share with you for those. They actually have pathway one business purchase, pathway two startup business. So both you will need to submit a EOI first before you can submit a ROI or 491 small business owner. Okay. The major change for the pathway business purchase is if business purchase after 1st of September 2024, date of contract. So when you sign out the contract to purchase this business need to be before 1st of September, then you can buy the business in the regional Queensland. But if it's after 1st of September 2024, they need to be the postcode 4370 to 4390, then 4440 to 4428, 4454 to 4458, 4570 to 4571, and 4580 to 4895. So if you did not sign the contract before 1st of September, then you need to only purchase the business that is running at least 2 years. And then you taking over and you will need to pay at least $100,000. Okay. And then for the business purchase before 1st of July, you have 18 months to submit. Okay, so pathway to start up business, you have will be able to eligible for the all regional Queensland. All right, eligible criteria for both path one and path two is you need to have a UOI point at least 65, need to have positive skill assessment, need to be under 45-year old, and then they only require you for competent English, not like the other string, they all require profession English. Okay, the pathway one and pathway two, you both need to follow for the criteria is had occupation on the legislative instrument LIN 19/051. So any occupation able to apply for the mid and long term, and short and long term should be able to do it. Okay, and you will need to living in the regional Queensland and must provide your postcode for pathway one and two, and location of business. You must own and operate business in eligible postcode. Depends on when did you purchase the business. After 1st of September, is only limit postcode will be able to purchase. And you also need to be working full time, at least minimum 30 hours per week for the at least 6 months. Ownership interest, you will need to provide evidence you've been holding the 100% ownership business. Okay. And then when you purchase the things, and then for this year, migration Queensland things, okay, say you can, if you have spouse, you can have both your name in the purchase business. But the main applicant, either the wife or husband who is doing the nomination, will be the one mainly running the business. Okay. Additional requirement for the pathway one is type things purchase. Settlement business must be correct less than 18 months prior to submit your EOI, but they're actually okay if you purchase your business before 1st of July. They give you time to go to apply on December 2025. And business purchase must have been operated minimum 2 years in the current location, and and need to be the same business. Okay, so that's quite important. So you cannot purchase a business and change their location and change the business. That will not be accepted by the pathway one requirement. Okay, and as I said, the purchase price will be minimum $100,000, and you guys know about that. That's the minimum price, and cannot be including for other things that like including some of the stock or things like that. So need to be the selling price at least minimum $100,000. Okay. And you will need to provide evidence you've been operating the business minimum 6 months after settlement. The 6 months operation did not start until 100% business purchase price is settled. So, for example, you will need to pay the fees and get the things settled down, and then start that day, you will be able to say, okay, that's the day you are fully operating the business. And for some people, they are saying it's that I purchased this one in February. So how do I calculate the 6 months? Is that in August? Now you need to show 2 bars. So they will actually check your bars from April and then you to October. So you will not be able to apply for this one until you have 2 bars. Okay. And you for pathway 1, they require you to hire at least one Australian resident for at least minimum 20 hours per week. Or you can have 2 employees working for 10 hours per week. Additional requirement for pathway 2 for the startup business, that you will need to show minimum 2 years with turnover at least 200,000 in the 12 months prior to application. All right. So the important note about the for SBO pathway is no share transfer, no vendor finance, cannot purchase business from the family member or relative, and cannot relocate or sell business without first receiving approval from Migration Queensland. Okay, and cannot purchase business of previous use as part of visa application, like 4911 L405 visa application. Applicant must operate their business at least 3 years in the regional, okay, after the visa grant. They actually highlight this one, quite important. So you will not be able to say, okay, I got my 491 visa grant, then I would like to sell my business. They actually want you to at least still run that business for another 3 years. Business not accept multiple business operating under one ABN, passive investment, home-based business, commission agent, and dialogue business. Okay, and franchise one, you must consider purchase a franchise. You must have approval from the master franchise prior to purchase this one. Okay, I will go in through to the Queensland offshore 190 and 491. They actually you only require 65 points, and then you will need to earn the offshore Queensland skill occupation, which you will find out that's a lot about engineer, things like that, and occupation related. So you need to have your occupation on that list to be able to apply for the Queensland offshore. And you need to have professional English, okay, for both 190 and 491. And the work experience, they require you at least 5 years skill employment experience in your nominate occupation or close relate occupation. Only work experience declared and relate to your nomination occupation on your EOI will be considered. So if on your EOI you did not put that you have 5 year work experience, they're probably not going to pick you up. And you must be in ongoing full-time employment in your nominate occupation when you are invited. So they will ask you to provide those documentation. And they actually have the same criteria what experience required for 190 and 491. Except for the priority engineer worker, they will be able to only need to provide 3 years. Okay. And then they actually ask you to say for 190, you need to be commitment living and working in Queensland for at least 2 years on the day of your 190 visa grant. For 491, it's 3 years after the 491 visa grant. And then the requirement they had actually say has a positive skill assessment for priority occupation to support the engineer sector. So they only require for the engineer sector only need 3 years for the work experience. That's it for me. Back to Suman.
Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Riju, for explaining the criteria. So you can see a lot has changed with Queensland for the 190 and 491. So it is very important that the EOI and ROI both have been lodged very carefully, and thought through decision has been made when you are choosing your occupation and if you're going for a 190 or a 491 visa. So we can take some questions. So I can see some questions in the chat. So let's start with the first one. Okay, with the backlogs, there is a website, Skill Select website, where you can check how many EOIs are lodged. But can I say it's not really an accurate data, because you don't know how many people are offshore and how many people are onshore. And to be honest, some UIs are in there which, people have already got invited. For example, they're just still sitting in the system because people have not withdrawn it. So that's not something I would really check to see and make a decision, what's going on. But yeah, for a very competitive occupation, you can say that, for competitive occupations like accountants, you can say that there'll be many EOIs. But let's say if you were looking for like a bricklayer or a general practitioner, there'll be very few EOIs in that one. So let's have a look at Mohammed's question. So this is for offshore. So Dorothy, would you like to reply to this one?
I think just give me a second. I couldn't find the question because the question is down there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've tried to put it on the screen. Can you see it?
Okay, so that one is hi, my occupation quantity survey. Is that one?
Yes.
Okay. Offshore 80 points on my own. Age 30, qualification 15 and blah blah blah. I only can I get I the quantity survey you for the offshore one, you need 5 year work experience. Yeah, so you probably wait for the 189 because they seems to be sent out the things for that one. So quantity survey is on the 190 offshore, but unfortunately for Queensland they require 5 year work experience.
Yeah. So it looks like you do have 5 years if you are claiming 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would try a 190 because your occupation is on the priority list. Um, yeah, good points, I would say. 80 points are pretty good with 5 years work experience. English also you've got proficient. I know that they are also going to look at applicants whose partners are skilled, so not just competent English, but also skills assessment. So if your partner could get a skills assessment, of course, you do have better chances. But you could try for a 190, but also keep in mind that we are only talking about 1,200 total seats. So it's
Mm-hmm.
high competition. So if you're okay with 491, because with 491, then we are talking about 95 points. So yeah, that's also another option you can look at. All right. So okay, I've got a question here regarding the study. I would just like to stick to questions regarding Queensland 190 and 491. So, with your daughter, because you're on a 491, still considered international student for studying. So, what she can do in the gap year, probably, we'll have to check and see what her interests are. Something relating to what she wants to do in the uni. Maybe she could start a course there, because I'm thinking that you want her to start the uni when you get your 191. That's why you're waiting. Yeah, but that's something probably we can discuss offline if you want to book with us. Okay, let's have a look at art there. Riju, would you like to take that one?
Mm, yes, okay. Hi, Ati. Okay, no invite in first two rounds in each state, no invite for internal auditor with 75 points in 491. So I'm not sure which state are you in, Atir, or if you are overseas. Yeah, internal auditor may not have got the invitation. for um, yeah, the 2 rounds. If you are talking about Western Australia, they are prioritizing, health, construct, building and constructions industry. So they haven't invited all of the occupations yet. Probably you can wait for it if you are in Western Australia. If in Queensland, so previously accountants and auditor, they required you to be working as an auditor if you were nominating that occupation, and if nominated nominating an occupation as an accountant, then you had to be working in a medium-sized business and you had to be studying for CPA. So that requirement is not there anymore. So accountants, they can lodge their 190 and 491 if you meet all the criteria that has been mentioned previously. Alright. So probably you should wait for it, and probably you can work on your points. So this year, as Queensland is focusing more on salary, work experience, superior English, and then partner skills points. So if you tick all those boxes, then probably you can say you could be ahead of the competition. But if you don't have those, then probably you should work on the English first, and think about if you can get increase in your salary by talking to your employer. So those are, and if your partner doesn't have the skill assessment and the English, then probably your partner can work on those. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Sujal is asking, I am working and living in South Australia, but my pay slips are from regional New South Wales. Can I apply 491? Dorothy, would you like to answer that one?
Now, for South Australia this year, they say they will not accept for working in other states. So you will need to be, uh, try to find a job. And it's actually located in the South Western Australia.
Or probably you can move to regional New South Wales as well, because they have introduced, direct pathway for regional New South Wales. If you are working in a nominated occupation, and if you can get at least the TSMIT, if you can meet the TSMIT at the time of application, then you can probably lodge your 491
Oh yeah, the
with
pathway
New South
one.
Wales.
If you've
Yeah,
been working in the regional New South
or
Wales
at
for
least
at least 6 months, yes.
6 months. Yeah, but you have to live there for at least 6 months, then you can qualify.
Yeah, because they removed the leading, so you can try for the regional New South Wales, but not
Yeah,
South Australia. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Jishan is asking, when do you think Queensland would do an invitation round?
I think they're probably going to send out either end or early of the month. As per Mani say at that time, they seems like want to do a monthly invitation, but I'm not quite sure it's end of month or early of month. So if end of month is probably coming now, and early is probably, also next week. We just need to wait and see how they're going to do it, because they are the only state that doesn't like to share or publish
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
information.
nobody knows actually when they do it, because even last year they said, oh, they're just gonna do end of the month, but then they did not stick to it. Yeah, so we'll see. So
So
I
we
think it
will,
will be random, but hopefully once a month for sure.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mohammed, we answered your question already. All right, let's answer Srujana regarding the graduate pathway. So master's was completed 4.42 GPA, living in Queensland regional area. So can she apply for the graduate pathway?
Mm. Hi, Shrujana. Yeah, GPA requirement is not there anymore, but you have to, if you have graduated after 1st of July 2022, then you will qualify, but you need to be working in a skill level 1 occupation. So let's say, for example, if you have got an IT degree, but you are working as a retail manager, then that will also qualify for the graduate pathway. So and you need to be living in regional area. to qualify for 491. If you want to discuss further, probably you should book an appointment, and then we can assess your eligibility and see where you stand at. Thanks.
Okay, Mohammed, just a follow-up question from him because he's got 80 points, offshore, 5 years work experience, occupation is in the priority list, so he's ticking most of the boxes. Mohammed is asking if he did NATI, that would have added 5 points. Then is it better for 190 and 189 for him with 85 of his own points?
So, quantity surveyor, the last invitation round in September for for 189,
I think it's
875
95.
points got invited. So I'm not sure if you missed out on that invitation.
Yeah, because he's at 80 right now. So, of course,
80.
I would say probably try to increase your points. 189 we'll see, but then you do have good chances for 190 or 491 in Queensland. I know that you're not focusing on 491, but probably look at other states as well
Yeah,
because you're not
Western Australia is also there. If you
maybe,
want to
but
look at it.
look at other states. If you're sure that this is what you want, 189 or 190, then just focus on that. Try to increase points. Try in all states. Should be all right. All right, we'll just take maybe a couple more questions. Okay, I've got some questions regarding the number of EOIs lodged in Skill Select. Probably that's something anybody can do. Like the dashboard is available publicly. You can check how many EOIs are lodged for your occupation. But like I said, that data is not something I would look at to make a decision. Um, okay, there was another follow-up question from Sujal. I think there was another question. Okay, if anybody else has got any questions, they can probably put it in the chat. We'll just take one from Piyush. Pharmacy technician onshore, wife is offshore in Queensland. My wife 0.75 for 491. I'm in New South Wales. We both have positive assessments. Okay. We actually did get few of our clients invited for this occupation, I think last year. So points are not too great, but then you are in New South Wales. Depends really where you are in New South Wales. Are you in the regional area? Are you working in your nominated occupation and things like that? But good chances. Just try to increase your points a little bit. What do you guys think, Dorothy, Riju?
New South Wales, they keep talking about they will have their priority sector, the occupation, and also they only looking in high EOI. That's they've been talking about. So
Yes.
unless this your occupation is on that list, and then your point as you only got 65 for 190, so I think the chance for you to get invitation for this financial year is not that great in New South Wales because they actually keep talking about they want high EOI applicant. So as Suman said, we will suggest you try to increase your EOI point to maximize your chances.
Yeah, I'm not sure if your occupation is open in Western Australia. I haven't looked at it yet. I think your occupation is open there actually. Uh, one of our clients just got invited from Western Australia, same occupation, interstate applicant because it's in the general stream, but I think she's sitting at higher points than you. I'll have to go back and check. So just make sure that you have lodged your EOI with Western Australia. So if not the next one, maybe the next round you may get invited, depending on how many people are waiting. But good chances of for interstate applicants as well to get invited. In your case, we have to see if your occupation is open in New South Wales or not, right? So until we have that answer, We don't know if we need to move or should we just hang around in New South Wales and wait there. Otherwise, Western Australia could be a very good option for you. No problem, Piyush, for that. Okay. I think the important thing with Queensland is their small business owner stream. So as you know that we do a lot of small business owner visas at Nationwide Migration, and we have been helping clients since the start of the stream. The stream started in 2020. We've helped so many clients get the small business visa, and of course, a couple of years ago it went really good. A lot of people got invited for 189. It was like a really good time. Then small business owner visa, we saw that slowing down, but now things are very tough again. So if you have exhausted all your other options and you have limited time. By limited time, I mean we still need, I would say, 10 to 12 months minimum, because as you just explained, that two passes means two full passes. So if you're somebody who bought the business in February, your first pass is actually from April to June, and then the second is July to September. So you kind of end up waiting 8 months rather than 6 months. The criteria is, oh, run the business for 6 months and then lodge it, but they actually mean two full passes as well. So it's very important that you plan it carefully, because you don't also want to be in a situation where you buy the business and then later on you figure out that you are not eligible anymore, or we don't have enough time, or you did not buy the eligible business. So last year only they had this requirement that if the seller has got like couple of businesses under the same entity, under the same ABN, they were not approving those businesses. But for example, it was not listed on the website. But we always check for our clients when there is such situation, and we could already tell them not to buy that business. And now and then we spoke to Migration Queensland, like it's not fair, it's not on your website. So we can see that they have updated their website. So it's good that they have taken the feedback, they have updated that. So for example, when you're using a migration professional for your small business owner stream, so these are the things that we will be checking, that your seller has under the same entity or same business. Has he got multiple businesses? Because then there is no way of finding out if the BAS lodged is for that particular business is selling you, because the requirement is that the business needs to be running from last 2 years. So it will create a lot of issues in the future. And the other thing that has changed is the postcodes. They have taken such a big chunk of postcodes out, like the whole Gold Coast is out, Sunshine Coast is out, Strathpine area is out, and I think Toowoomba is also out. And so you have to be very careful where you buy the business. But then, if you bought the business before they made these changes, again you are safe. So, for example, we had a client call us the other day, or they already bought the business and everything. No, the settlement was not done. The purchase contract was done. So it was done before 1st of September, luckily. So we could tell, okay, no issues. You can still do the settlement. We got the confirmation and everything. So you are investing a lot of money in the small business owner stream. So just make sure that you are taking help for the small business owner stream. Also, with the offshore applicants, Queensland has got the energy sector open as a priority sector. So it's a very golden opportunity for people who've got minimum of 5 years of work experience. But I do recommend, people who've got proficient English, maybe skilled partners, they should definitely try Queensland. But if you're an offshore applicant, don't just stick to Queensland only. You have to try everywhere where your occupation is open, and then, depends who invites you first. Like in the past, we've had multiple invitations for our offshore clients, because we always apply in all the states they are eligible. And sometimes it's really good to have a couple of choices. Okay, you want to go to Queensland, or you want to go to Western Australia or New South Wales,
South
and
Australia.
things like that. But if you have any questions, and you can reach out to us, feel free to book a consultation with Riju or Dorothy regarding Queensland state nomination, or if you are offshore applicant as well, feel free to reach out to us. We have actually put the link to our bookings as well. So you can book a consultation with us. We do consultations after hours as well. So thank you everyone who has joined us today. And I hope this session was helpful. And we would like to wish good luck to everyone who is trying for Queensland. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.